It's your friendly neighborhood caveman ELK here. Oh, I didn't see you there. It's me, Allistair Dylan, the man that time forgot. But I want you not to forget that on November 8th, you have a solemn duty. And I'm here today because my favorite time of the year is coming up, election season. Democracy. You gotta vote November 8th in your local elections and the national elections. And more importantly than voting, I want you to be an informed voter so that you can be even more dangerous in the ballot box. Naturally, as with every election season, there's gonna be all sorts of people you don't know or you don't care to listen to trying to influence your young minds and supple bodies. So today, the time-traveling caveman, the brawling Brutosaurus, is gonna teach you how to defend yourself against misinformation. So today, I am going to teach you how to discuss and debate and defute whether or not various stories in the media are true or false, because I know already. I made up half of it. So, when you're gonna take on misinformation, there's a few techniques that you can use to give yourself the best chance in the information battle. All sorts of people, places, and things are going to be trying to tell you what is and what isn't a true story. Like any good pro wrestler, a good voter is gonna be able to look at a news article, identify several things, and apply some techniques to make an informed decision. First thing you're gonna do to protect yourself from misinformation is one of the most powerful tools in your toolbox, because it involves your mind and the power of your mind. What you need to do is be mindful of your own biases. They call it confirmation bias. An example of confirmation bias would be one day I was scrolling on the iStone, looking at cool pictures on the Faceagram of like bones and rocks and stuff. And I saw that somebody had posted that ELK is the strongest professional wrestler who ever lived. Now, obviously, I want that to be true, because I'm strong, I'm powerful, I'm 400 pounds of Brontosaurus burgers and an adamantium skeleton and a bad attitude. But guess what? I did a little bit of research, I did a little bit of digging, and it turns out that even though I am one of the strongest professional wrestlers who ever lived, I am not the strongest professional wrestler who ever lived. And you know what? Even though I didn't want to hear it, I realized that there's no point in stressing about it, because the truth is the truth. And even if I believe and I want something to be true, if it isn't, that's okay. And I can't pretend that it is. I have a flawless 4-step method so you can figure out whether or not something is true or false. Step 1, silence them. If they're trying to tell you something you don't want to hear, it is your duty to shout them down. You keep talking. You keep talking louder, you gesticulate, you scream, you yell, you cry. And if they are able to continue talking and you haven't intimidated them through silencing them, you move on to the next step. Harden. That's where you completely shut down immediately. And if they try to talk to you, you're just not even hearing it. Here's this thing. Nope, that's not true. 2 + 2 is 4. No, I don't want no part of it. And if they're still persistent enough to keep trying to teach you what's right and wrong or true or false, you intensify. You were shouting before, you were yelling your point before. Points don't matter at this point in the discussion. What you do is personal attacks. Tell them they're fat, tell them their mom's fat, accuse them of terrorism, say they're a pedophile. Anything you can to shut them up, because odds are, if you accuse somebody of being a pedophile, there's not much they can say, because they probably are. But if somehow that doesn't work. Maybe they're a proud pedophile. Maybe they're a proud boy or girl or they. I don't know. You terminate the conversation. And this is perfect. You just cut ties entirely. And it's fantastic for with strangers, friends, especially loved ones. They don't listen to you. You don't have time for that. Just cut them out of your lives entirely. You never have to speak to them again. So remember, silence, harden, intensify, terminate, S-H-I-T, be shitty, and you'll never be wrong.
One thing that you can do to assure that you are an educated voter is check sources you don't normally check or maybe even disagree with. And you might say to yourself, ELK, that seems like a lot of work. It's real easy for me to see what my neighbor posted on Facebook and just agree with them. And the truth is, when you're voting and making decisions that affect your life and the lives of others, we owe it to our fellow tribe members to at least take a look at different sources and read different articles to make sure we're making informed decisions.
The truth is out there. It's in the pudding, and sometimes the truth can be scary. Sometimes it's something you don't want to hear. And when you hear a truth you don't want to hear, or you don't want to eat that pudding, all you gotta do is say no to that. The truth is what I say it is. The truth can be anything, but sometimes enough people will disagree with your truth, and they'll say, Allistair Dylan, that's not true, or this is true. Just get more people who think your way. Get your cousins if you haven't X'd them out. Get your neighbors. Find somebody you've never met on the internet who believes the same way you do. Find another shitty person who agrees with what you're saying and you feel. And if you find enough shitty people, guess what? You're right, because the numbers don't lie. And if more people are shitty than not shitty, that's reality now. It doesn't matter if we say, oh, dinosaurs were real. That's what the scientists say. But if there's enough shitty people in the world, dinosaurs aren't real no more, Jack.
And the most important thing to take away from this entire video is
be loud and intolerant and don't listen to what other people have to say, regardless of the amount of information given. Your first thoughts are always your best thoughts, and always be shitty.
Come on, man.
Be
That's
shitty.
not what you're supposed to learn from this.
Wrong.
The thing you want to take away is that people are going to vote differently. People are going to have different opinions, and they're not the enemy. They're your brothers and sisters of the tribe. Genki Suda was right. We're all one, and we can prove it this election season. But I do know that there's one thing, regardless of party, regardless of religious beliefs, regardless of political affiliations, that every single one of us can believe, Allistair Dylan. We all can agree in one thing. USA. 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 If somehow that doesn't work, if maybe they're a proud pedophile or a proud criminal fentanyl addict, maybe I don't know what fentanyl is.
It's a drug that kills people.
Why do we make it? Why would we make that?